There are quite a few examples out there of companies trying to screw us over. It's talked about all the time. I'll bet you that you could name a story off the top of your head that you've heard, or maybe it happened to you personally. But there are those times when companies go too far, push us too far. But the terror that these companies feel when we stand up together and tell them no, it's the best feeling ever. I've always believed that the consumer owns the company, and these days a lot of variables make that statement untrue and hard to attain. Fanboys are one of them. Aggressive business and anti-consumer practices are some others, and combined, they fight very hard to make sure that we're not in control. We're the children, and they know what's best for us. But I would almost say for certainty that we as a whole are getting better. We're waking up a bit more, and I'll get into what I mean by that right now. A while ago, a game called Deus Ex Mankind Divided made a leap to try to force more money out of the consumer. Its way of doing this was by pre-order tally. The more people who pre-ordered the game, the more content for the game was unlocked, and if there weren't enough who pre-ordered the game, that content would not appear in the finished product. The publishers wanted to force us, push us, and make us feel as though we had no choice. Later that very same year, a game by the name of Evolve was released, with 2 season passes, which did not give you the full content alone or even together. If you wanted the entire game plus all DLC that was promised to come out someday, you would have to pay around $200. And recently, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare came out, obviously showing off the exact same game yet again, and locked away a remastered edition of Call of Duty Modern Warfare unless you purchased their new generic space shooter. Now, these examples are of video game companies doing very shady things, and when you think about it, this is home to us. Gamers of any platform are weak. We sit back and take anything these companies that we give a constant in love and forgiveness do whatever they want to us, demand anything they want, and hide away, lock away, even full games. And it's normal when you hear these kinds of stories to not bat an eye. But all of these stories ended on the side of the consumer. Wait, what? Yes. When it came to Deus Ex, the company refunded hundreds of thousands of copies of their game as soon as they came out with that pay to unlock more content BS. Evolve lost its fan base and had less than 200 players only just a year after its release, and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare has the most hated and disliked trailer of any video game trailer and almost any other YouTube video on the site. We the gamer, we the consumer kicked the company to its knees. We stood up and told them no, and we did it together. We fought back because we knew it was wrong, and we threw the company aside and told them to call us back when they had something to offer. We were on top. These stories are not tales of the past. We did it in our time. And did it break, crumble, and ruin these companies? No. Deus Ex dropped the shady business practice and focused on making a game. They've not said a word about it since. They curled up in their dark little crevice and waited for the dust to settle, knowing full well who is in charge. Evolve made their game free to play, so they can build a player base and hopefully keep them this time. They came crawling back, hoping, begging us to forgive them. And Call of Duty? Well, they're still saying that the game's gonna sell, but I mean, what could you possibly teach Activision? But I ask you, how does it feel? How does it feel to know that you have that kind of power? To know that if you feel something's wrong, you can stand up with a crowd and in a loud voice tell them no. For you fanboys out there, did the company die? Is the company dead? No, they're not dead. They fell to their knees and they bow to you now, not the other way around. How does that feel? I said earlier that we're getting better. These companies know that if we were to figure out how powerful we are, especially as a group, we would control them. These large organizations that disappoint us again and again, they would have to change. They would have to actually try, and they don't want to do that. Instead, they are still slowly conditioning us, slowly making us think that microtransactions in a $60 game is okay, that the season pass and the pre-order is okay, that milking us with unnecessary amounts of DLC is acceptable, games coming out in an unfinished state, and as we let this happen, not only do we let it slide, but we justify it. We praise these anti-consumer business practices, and we look down on those who are trying with all their might to make things a better place for the consumer. We should not struggle to enjoy a good experience. These companies should struggle to make us as happy as possible. And as promising as it is that every so often we can count on one another to band together and stop an extreme case, I only dream that one day we realize how strong we all are and we put this industry back to the way it should be. Us playing games, enjoying them with one another regardless of the platform. No sorry Xbox Live or PS Plus payments to play games online. No pre-orders, no season pass, no half-baked games, and no bad ports and companies afraid of our every move. The power.